does it make you feel watching the news? Scared? Shell-shocked? Hopeless? Do you feel disempowered? Helpless, not knowing what to do, who to vote for? I am so not into the political theater that's going on right now. Are you looking for answers? Politicians are not the answer. No one knows what's going to happen with this election. No one knows for sure. Don't count on the politicians to do shit. The only way we will evolve and change the world is when people empower themselves through knowledge, education, empowerment. Are you looking for answers? My guest today is a man with answers and solutions instead of excuses. On the show today, my guest is a visionary doctor, David Raphael, founder and director of the San Francisco Medical Research Foundation, author of the book, The Healing and Regeneration of America, and founder of The Light Party, dedicated to health, peace, and freedom for all. You don't want to miss a moment of this powerful, enlightening, uplifting conversation full of solutions. I am Heaven Hope, and welcome to Conversations with Goddess. Our mission is to empower, inspire, and awaken your power and light, and reunite the global and galactic family of light. Make sure to watch all the way to the end because David will be gifting you with a copy of his book. Welcome to Conversations with Goddess, David. So happy you're here.
Amazing.
We've been having these conversations about all of these topics, and today is the day we're going to dive into the Light Party. Let's jump into the first question. What is the Light Party and what makes it so unique?
The Light Party is a global, holistic, new political paradigm party dedicated to health, peace, prosperity, and freedom for all.
Love that. Is that really possible? Health, peace, prosperity, and freedom?
That's what makes the Light Party unique, because most people would see that as being some kind of utopian, whatever. But we've laid out a platform which actually serves to actualize our 7-point platform, addresses clearly, definitively, comprehensively our current sociological and ecological challenges.
What are some of those challenges?
On a national level, or we're talking about on a global level?
All of it. Wherever you want to start.
If you really accept what I'm saying, it's a no-brainer. We have a 7-point platform. Number 1 is Project Health. The strength of our nation is directly proportional to the health of our people. Healthy soil creates healthy plants, and healthy plants create healthy people.
Please continue to share about the 7 principles of the Light Party.
Number 1, it's built on a diamond, is Project Health. It moves to eco/nomics. And then we have one called Project Peace. We have one called the Global Peace Center. The centerpiece is the Ascension Process. And one of the others, very important, is the Artainment. You press a button and it goes into great detail on Project Health. Artainment. Economics, huge subject.
Economics. What is economics?
Basically about reprioritizing the wealth of the universe to use money for the stewardship and protection of the ecology of this planet.
I agree, but there is so much greed at the very top, who possess most of the wealth. How do we redistribute that? How do we end up reproportioning it for the highest good of all?
It comes down to spiritual awakening, where people in power start using their power, their money, resources for the greater good. But we have a very, very simple program started by Sanders.
This is the question that I've been wanting to ask you because we've talked about it, and I would love for you to introduce this concept to the people watching. You were telling me that Bernie Sanders introduced Tobin tax. Please speak into the Tobin tax.
It's now called the Financial Transaction Tax, a small percentage, tiny little tax, because trillions of dollars are moving around the global economy. A tiny little surcharge, according to him, he was very conservative, 0.01% would generate a cool $300 billion. And this is money that's ka-chunk, to where the big banks and the hedge funds, they bet up and down. They have the supercomputers. They're generating enormous wealth for themselves. It's their game. They own the computers. What Bernie said, 0.1%, 300 billion. David, Light Party, how about 1%? That's $3 trillion. So here we're living in this idea that there's not enough to go around. And that $3 trillion would be used for all kinds of beneficial social programs. What we could do with $3 trillion. We're talking about a tiny, tiny little tax. I've just been writing to Bernie, why don't you start championing the Tobin tax again?
I've been wondering, how can we manifest or create something to balance?
It would absolutely resolve the inequality of wealth. Huge issue. The rich are getting richer, and then there's everybody else. States are broke. 50 million people in this country are living in poverty. The illusion is it's not enough to go around. There's more than enough to go around, but that takes enlightened leadership. Tobin Tax, to me, I call it an economic panacea. It's majorly promoted on the homepage of the Light Party.
Such an important solution to the issue of the massive inequality of wealth.
It's a small tax on currency trade. This is what the big banks do, the big five. They're making their money on trade. They bet, called the global casino. Take a little bit. It doesn't threaten the financial markets one bit. You're talking about 1% of their ill-gotten gains, and then that gets put into a fund and then starts getting distributed as needed for social programs, for remineralization. We go down the list. It's such a beautiful concept, so doable because you're not threatening the current economic structure of America.
It's genius. What is it going to take for that to be implemented? Why isn't that?
Me becoming president.
The Light Party has been on the ballot, right?
Yes, I'm a write-in candidate for president.
Today, you are a write-in candidate?
Saint Germain came to me a long time ago and said, act as though you already are president, and what kind of world do you want to create? And I've been at it ever since. And there's more and more people who are joining in their own individual collective way to improve the quality of life on Earth. Clean water, clean air, healthy food, cleaning up politics. There are millions of people and groups that are working at the grassroots level. They're doing the work of the Light Party to bring forth the Golden Age.
Love the Golden Age.
The divine plan is the liberation of humanity into a new paradigm, fifth dimensional and beyond, which will encompass and actualize health, peace, prosperity, and freedom for all. It's the divine plan.
Love the slogan. And how do we create health, prosperity, peace, and freedom for all? They haven't been able to do it. How does the Light Party propose we do it?
You have to gain a certain perspective as far as evolution of consciousness on this planet, which if you accept the Mayan position or the Hindu position, this isn't something we snap our fingers and all of a sudden, voila. We're talking about a timeline that encompasses billions of years. Here is an amazing opportunity to speed up the process wherein we really have what you would call heaven on earth, Miss Heaven. The end of war, the end of poverty, sickness, the end of disease, full actualization of our human potential, realizing that we really are divine beings, and it's time we start acting in a divine manner.
What is the goal of the Light Party?
The universal goal is to actualize, catalyze health, peace, and freedom for all.
We were talking about the issue of this broken system, especially with the health crisis that's facing the nation, actually the entire world. There seems to be a health crisis globally. Does the Light Party have a way of addressing that?
There's a magazine, which has like been my Bible that I've been reading for 20 plus years, called Acres USA, dedicated to eco-agriculture. So what's needed is the farmers have to be educated on how to regenerate, regenerative, restorative agriculture. Big pharma, chemical agriculture poisoned the soil. He's destroyed the soil. It's interesting because Trump just invited Robert Kennedy Jr. to have an event called Let's Make America Healthy Again. How can we individually and collectively restore our God-given right to be healthy, vital, creative individuals? But because of the intense poisoning, terrible food, massive candida in the gut, misuse of drugs, sugar, etc. It's a massive re-educational process. The good news is that there's a tremendous amount of awareness and work being done, particularly in the eco-agriculture, organic food. But like right now, maybe 5% of the food availability is organic. So you can see the challenge because most people do not have access to healthy food. If you don't have the micronutrients and trace minerals, you're going to be a sick puppy, period. 90% of our degenerative diseases, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, are all nutritionally related.
You wrote a book,
Healing and Regeneration of America.
Tell us about that book.
We discuss in detail the corruption of the system that Big Pharma has taken over the medical profession with the use of drugs, etc. So we get back to regenerative agriculture, healing of the soil, educating the farmers, educating the people demanding that they have the right for good, healthy food. But I've been banging the drum about this since the late 70s.
Glad somebody has been banging the drum about it. The question is, why haven't people been listening?
Because you have very powerful special interests, do not want people to be healthy. It's a sickness paradigm, and we're promoting a wellness paradigm, liberating people from the disease paradigm. But you got to understand, the pharmaceutical industry is a $580 billion industry.
You call it the medical
medical military industrial complex.
Why haven't people been listening?
Well, it all started way back when homeopathy was the predominant form of medicine. And then came the introduction of chemical medicine with the introduction of antibiotics, slowly and accelerating encroachment of big pharma to control the medical schools, which they do. A doctor today will be educated in pharmaceutical medicine, symptomatic medicine. It's all about education. A lot of the doctors, the younger ones, know, and doctors themselves know that it's a broken down system, if they're honest with themselves, that most diseases are due to what I'd call unaccommodated stress, lack of exercise, self-poisoning with these horrendous drugs and poor diet. But getting people into that state of awareness and, more importantly, breaking those habits, that's the issue. That's the challenge, because most people, God bless them, don't want to. It means change. It means radical change. It's really a life and death issue.
As a doctor, how would you advise and coach people in breaking that habit? What do you think is the most important solution that you can offer people right now?
The solution is education, education, and more education. I've come up with a very practical program called the Human Ecology Program, a comprehensive health maintenance and rejuvenation process. Very simple. We have a whole section on advanced health products catalog. I'm researching this all the time. The best nutraceuticals, the best health products are on the planet. We have a health revolution going on. It's exploding. Plus, I have a lot of information on self-actualization, which is how we can reconnect with our inner truth. And that is what I call artainment. It's all about spiritual awakening, because when people become more conscious, it means self-love, that you really care about yourself. And you're willing to take greater responsibility on a day-to-day level to improve your health. It's an ongoing process for me and everybody else. We're able to make improvements. You start feeling better. You have more energy. So if we extrapolate that to millions and millions of people, you're going to see not only individual energetic shifts, you're going to see a whole shift energetically of the whole culture and the society as people move into the light.
Is that what you called the light party? The light party.
Right. See, light, as you know, dear heaven, is light is all there is. Everything is vibrational. Everything is light. All of us, individually and collectively, are vibrating at different frequencies. When you really actualize good health, you're vibrating at a high level. I call it fifth dimension and beyond. Most people, and it's not a judgment, are vibrating at a lower frequency because they're toxic, they're in fear, they don't meditate, they're under tremendous stress. And everybody's dealing with this at various levels, particularly in these times, because we're living right now in a fear-based paradigm. And there's strong intention to keep people sick, because you're talking big, big, big business here.
Money, power, control, greed. Classic story here on planet Earth. You're someone who has been intimately involved in the evolution of consciousness on your journey. How have you been involved in that?
Speaking about my own personal evolution and waking up, I'm a British medical graduate. Won't go into the whole story. I dropped out of a psychiatric residency in San Francisco, Langley Porter, which is considered a great, great institution, because what was happening there was something I could not participate in. There was all kinds of human experimentations going on, prefrontal lobotomies, experimental drugs. I said, I cannot be part of this. At the time, I didn't have the education awareness that I have now. I knew first law of medicine, Hippocrates, do no harm. Do no harm. And I realized I was doing a whole lot of you-know-what harm because I just didn't have the information. So I set up at San Francisco Medical Research Foundation. I've got very involved in the power of music, and I also studied in-depth hypnotherapy, how we can change embedded subconscious patterns and begin to eliminate those patterns and belief structures that are not serving us. We've created an amazing catalog of music and videos designed to inspire, delight, heal, and enlighten. It's a precious gift, and it's a compilation of some of the greatest artists and musicians on planet Earth and beyond.
What do you think is the role of the artist in the transformation of consciousness?
Pivotal. Every time there's been a real renaissance, if you study renaissances like the Italian Renaissance, which was a beautiful renaissance, it's always been amazing artists and musicians that it's actually what created the foundation of the Catholic Church. Good or bad. Who do you think made the church? Handel's Messiah, Bach, the Baroque musicians. Everybody loves Baroque, and they've studied the power of this type of music for healing and regeneration. Mm-hmm. So whenever you have a renaissance, you've always had great artists stepping forward to enlighten humanity. That's what the role of the artist is, the great artist, because beauty is beauty is beauty. But what's amazing in this time, the age of Aquarius, which we're moving into, each age is 2,300 years. We're moving out of the Piscean. But if you go online now, there's an amazing amount of spiritual books that are out there on how to actualize our human potential and come into alignment with the truth of who we really are, which is really divine beings, multidimensional beings, created in the image and likeness of God. God is all there is.
Where did we come from and where are we going?
Where did we come from? If you believe, and the Hindu teachings, the Kabbalistic teachings, the Christian esoteric teachings, all agree that there is a Godhead. That's reality. And the Godhead is infinite love, infinite wisdom, infinite power, source. Everything that we see in the world is an emanation and manifestation of consciousness itself, or God. God is all that is. We all come from the same place. There's a beautiful piece of music written by an enlightened black man from Harlem called "We Are One in the Infinite Sun." We are one in the infinite sun. And that infinite sun is what you call God. God is all that is, or source. And that God is all that is infinite love, infinite wisdom, and infinite power. Now, as long as you're involved in a materialistic, fear-based paradigm, inwardly you always have that connection, but you don't have it on a conscious level. So the whole idea is to bring consciousness through our subconscious, into our conscious mind. So then we become conscious co-created. We become a blessing not only to ourselves, but we become a blessing to humanity. And each of us has unique gifts, just as exactly what you're doing. Great work, Miss Heaven. Education. So really the light party is really infused dually with inspiration and solutions, because we're here to inspire people, because people don't need to be beaten down anymore. We've been beaten down for God knows how many years. We've got to embrace, empower, educate. Who are we really? We're beautiful beings. We're multidimensional beings. We're fantastic beings, but we went unconscious. That was what was called the fall. But we're moving out of that fallen state, unconscious in a fear-based world, into a love, freedom-based world. That I know, and it's obviously a process. So where we're going is into the light, into a new creation that has been prophesied and discussed, particularly now, by all the spiritual teachers, is we're moving into a whole new world. Obviously, we're just beginning. We're talking about turning around, look at the 20th century, of a very, very horrible history. So that's what your thing is about. The goddess speaks, because the goddess is all about love, and that love is who we are. And we have to awaken to that, because when we become loving beings, war will end yesterday.
Beautiful. And I see the gong at the moment behind you. You like to gong and do invocations of the violet flame. What is the role of the violet flame in the liberation of humanity?
It's a technology that has the inherent ability, in a very direct and fundamental way, to transmute personal and planetary karma. Without this, we would never have a liberated planet. It's a gift from God. God is all that is. Because Saint Germain, as you know, he's the keeper of the violet flame. It's the flame of freedom, which is the theme of the Aquarian Age, freedom. We all want to be free. I have a beautiful website called thesacredvioletflame.com. Anybody who's interested, you go to that site, you'll get completely schooled up, educated on what the violet flame is all about. But most importantly, not so much intellectual. We have these beautiful music, violet flame videos, beautiful invocations. Saint Germain gave me a great mantra. It's something you can hang your hat on. I am the creator. The creator created.
I love that. I am the creator. The creator created.
Anchor, lock, and seal. Seal that into your consciousness.
I am the creator. The creator created.
God is love. So am I. God is truth. And so am I. God is beauty, and so am I. The I am is the predicate for the name of God. And what you say after I am, you're creating your own reality.
Whatever follows I am follows you.
How simple. That's the essence of the wisdom teachings. Think of God as the infinite artist of the universe. Think of God as infinite intelligence. Any objective analysis of nature will lead you to that conclusion.
It's so important people know that there are solutions. Of course, solutions politicians have not done anything about.
No, they're brought out by, very powerful lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
Military industrial complex. Look what we have. We're paying $1.2 trillion a year to pay the interest on our debt. Between the military industrial complex, interest on the debt, you're talking about $2.5 trillion going into these institutions. Something's got to give. But the bottom line is, when we wake up and realize that consciousness is infinite, we are infinite, we have the power. Well, that was the other thing. Project Light, which I didn't mention, that 7-point platform. All the power that ever was or will be is here now. All the power. And not only all the power, all the love, all the wisdom, all the good is here now. So we have to simply acknowledge and come into alignment to those truths. Then the universe, or the goddess, goes full out to substantiate and bring it into reality.
What is the future of humanity, and is there a divine plan?
It's up for grabs on one level, because we have free will down here. This is a free will zone. The teachings that I'm involved with absolutely clearly give every indication that humanity is moving into a golden age. It's called the seventh golden age. That is beyond anything we can imagine, because we have access to our inherent divine power, which is one with God. God is all it is. And we have the ascended master realms, absolutely 24/7, involving, promoting humanity's well-being. You've got the advanced extraterrestrials who are on call. It's a done deal. And the so-called dark forces controlling this planet for eons, their time is up. That's the Kali Yuga cycle. That's the age of ignorance and separation, which you can see out in the outer world of all the pain and suffering. We're moving into Satyuga, which is a golden age, which is humanity's reuniting into unitive consciousness. We've never been separate from God. God is all it is. It's just an illusion that's in the mind. Transform your mind. You're home in the here and now.
It sounds so beautiful. I am in total alignment. I am all about the mission of this channel to empower, inspire, and awaken your power, light, and magic, and reunite the global and galactic family of light to usher in the new golden age of heaven on the new earth. I do believe you and the Light Party are very much in alignment with that.
The center point of the Light Party is called the Ascension process, which deals with spiritual awakening, which is fundamental to the real story that's happening. Spiritual awakening, ascension, is moving from one frequency to a higher frequency. And that is something that cannot be stopped. It's the center point of the Light Party. We have a very detailed website, which is incorporated within the Light Party on what we call Project Ascension, and explains in detail the ascension process, which I became aware of in depth in the early 90s, watching this thing unfold. And what it means, humanity is going from a lockdown third dimensional reality into a fifth dimensional reality.
I've heard you refer to what's going on planet Earth as a 3D prison planet.
Absolutely, it has been, no question about it. I have a vision converting Alcatraz into a global peace center, because Alcatraz was a prison.
In the San Francisco Bay, there is an island called Alcatraz that was formerly a prison.
A big time prison. Yeah, Al Capone, all the bad guys used to wind up there.
Right. And now
transform it into a global peace center. It's, as I say, a vision for the ages.
What is the most important thing that you would like people to remember from the information that you've shared about the Light Party? And
if I had to give you very simple advice, it's important to get out and be in nature, because then you're going to be able to receive all this light that's pouring to heal and regenerate your body, is to lie on the earth. It's called earthing. Very simple things. It's all free. Find the time. Get into that place of silence and inner communion where you consciously are connecting with source energy.
You introduced me to this amazing place where they had monkey grass.
Right, monkey grass.
And you used to go there and lie in this lush, plush monkey grass. It was the most amazing feeling to lie down in this monkey grass that was just so much like the Mother Earth.
The Earth, Gaia, is a goddess, a divine being. It's a goddess. She supports all life on this planet. Fundamental to acknowledge that we need to love, respect, and care for her, because she is the aspect of our existence. Clean water, clean air. The Mother gives us all these things. Are we grateful? Do we acknowledge this?
All the time. I'm so grateful for all nurturance, support.
The Earth creates all this amazing abundance. They've done a study of what the GNP, the gross national product of the Earth is, which is in trillions and trillions of dollars. Of what she creates. Earth is this amazing generating being.
She's so abundant, lavish, and giving. Scarcity is an illusion.
Where is there scarcity? There isn't any scarcity.
Scarcity is a manipulation.
To keep us in a state of distress, dis-ease, designed to do that. That's what fear is all about. I have a deal with the universe.
I have a deal with the universe too. I want to hear yours.
To continue to inspire, delight, heal, and enlighten me, so I may continue to inspire, delight, heal, and enlighten others.
I love it.
And that's the deal I got going with the universe.
It's important you have a really beautiful, loving, harmonious connection and communication with the universe, with the Divine Mother, with all that is. David and I have recognized that mission to help bring forth this information, this transmission of divine consciousness, the divine plan. Once again, you have said that there is a divine plan.
Yeah.
Let's clarify that divine plan to remind people during the times where they've been caught up in fear or they want to divide us. They want us to forget.
Wrapped up in the 3D illusion, which is very compelling. You have to withdraw from that 3D illusion because the fact is you, me, and everything else is a constant state of transformation and change. That's what life is. So the question is, what are we changing into? We're changing into becoming more aware, more conscious. The gift that we have is our creative imagination.
Let's invite everybody out there to join us creatively imagining and actually reimagining. This is why I have the light is coming through. The light is emanating from.
The sun is a great archangel being, and it's pouring its light into and the whole planet, all of us. That's why I'm always recommending people get out into the light. The major function of the light point is to get people into the light physically, rather than sitting on your cell phones and being inside and disconnection from nature. So just reconnect, get your ass out of bed or the couch and walk around and commune. All you have to do is just be human being, which means God manifesting being. That's what the word means. Most practical thing you can do for yourself health-wise is get your ass out into nature.
I love it. This has been a supercharged conversation, filling me with light, filling hopefully everybody who's been listening with light. For everyone who has watched all the way to the end, you have a free gift. And what is that gift?
Human Ecology Program, our comprehensive health maintenance and rejuvenation program.
We will have that information in the show notes. You will have access to this lovely gift. So, Davi, thank you. As we come to a close, where can people find you?
If you go to lightparty.com, the homepage is very empowering, really key points. And then there's a section where it says learn more. It'll take you into layers after layers of our program. There's nothing out there on a political level that comes close to what we've put together. And I mean that in truth. What we have is quite unique, empowering, comprehensive, and fun.
Fun is the key word. That is the operative word for me. I am one with the fun.
You're a dancer, you're an artist, and that's the world you live in, and that's the world of creativity and imagination. And that's where we want to be, because that's where life exists. It always exists on the edge. Because we're always in a state of creative destruction and recreation. That's happening every moment. We live in a holographic fractal universe that is in a state of constant morphing and change. Creation and destruction is happening in every moment. And we have the power to basically recreate ourselves, our cells, and the planetary and the ecosystem, whereby we live in a golden age, and it's a fantastic age that we're moving into.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to join all of you in co-creating this new vision for what is possible for all of us. Regardless of who wins this election, you are a creator. I am a creator. Look in the mirror and say, I am the creator. The creator created. Thank you, David, for joining us today and the Light Party, and may it uplift all who are here to receive this transmission. That was such an important conversation I have been meaning to share with this beautiful community, which you are. If you have watched all the way to the end, you are part of the global family of light, and it's really important. Instead of letting them divide us, it is time to take back your power, your God-given, goddess-given power, and use it to create the reality you want to live in, that we desire. We, the people. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. They want us to fall, but we are not going to fall. We're way more powerful than that. You and I, we can create a new vision and a new reality.